So today I'm looking at another aspect of dealing with questions from your audience and, sorry. Hello. Is it a good idea to encourage your audience to ask questions throughout your presentation rather than just at the end? Okay, well, you've kind of put me on the spot a bit here, but the short answer is yes, it is a good idea to encourage your audience to ask questions throughout your presentation rather than just saving them at the end. And there are three main reasons why it's a good idea. Firstly, you get a picture in real time of the understanding and knowledge of your audience, which allows you to adjust and react as appropriate to make your delivery more effective. Secondly, it also gives you an idea of the audience's attitude towards your subject, which allows you to again adjust your delivery to harmonize it with their perspective, which allows it to be much better retained. And thirdly, just making the session more interactive has shown to aid retention among your audience, makes them more engaged. Now, as ever, there are better ways and slightly worse ways to frame your request for questions. So one thing that you might do is ask something like, do you understand? Now, the problem with asking that is it then puts your audience in the position of having to put their hands up and say, I don't understand, and people might not want to do that. So it's probably better to throw it back onto you and say something like, have I explained myself? That's better. Again, people might be reluctant to put their hands up and say, you haven't explained yourself. So I think by far the most effective way of framing it is when you've just finished a section of your presentation is simply to ask, has anyone got any thoughts or questions about what I've just talked about? Make it a bit more of a conversation. Now, this whole idea of allowing your audience to ask questions during your presentation, some people don't like it, perfectly understandable, because there is the danger that you're going to lose control of the subject, you're going to lose obviously control of timings. Now, as I say, these misgivings, perfectly understandable, but given the benefits of allowing questions during your presentation, these misgivings shouldn't be an obstacle, and they really are very easily handled. So, as I say, if you've just finished one part of your presentation, you're asking for questions, just make it clear that you're just going to take two questions now before you move on, so everyone knows the deal. Alternatively, if a member of the audience puts their hand up on their own initiative to ask you a question during your presentation, address that question and just make sure you move on, or otherwise you might find you're embroiled in a Q&A for the rest of your session, just about the first 2 minutes that you've delivered. And lastly, if a question's off topic, it's always perfectly acceptable just to say, I'm sorry, that question's not quite what I'm dealing with. By all means, come to me at the end of the session. Shouldn't feel awkward about that. Your audience, they know the title of your presentation. They're going to trust you to deliver that. So if you say a question's off topic, nobody's going to mind. So that's it for today. If you have got any questions for me, well, you can either phone me or put a message in Teams and I'll try and deal with it next time. Thank you very much.